I'm Jennifer Filzen, and today we are connecting with Jean and Will Duggar. Yay! Welcome.
Woo! Hello.
So, if you guys don't mind, tell us where you live, what you do for a living, and just a little basic. Where are you?
Well, we're here in Ohio. People generally know this area as Dayton, Ohio. We're in a small city called Brookville, which we just moved to. So I kind of call it cow country
With actual cows.
with actual cows and corn and stuff like that. We do look a little bit like a sore thumb. We stick out a little bit here in these here parts. But that's kind of how we are in our life. But you know,
It's all because of the red clothing you wear. You can't miss it.
absolutely.
But of course.
Well, we did just meet our new neighbors who brought us some eggs from their chickens.
Really? How
Yeah.
sweet.
They have different types of chickens, so they have different eggs.
We knew none of this stuff. They explained to us everything about chickens, showed us how colorful the eggs can be. They were literally called Easter eggs because some of them were green and brown, and we were like, wow.
Isn't that cool?
And they told us a whole bunch of stuff. So that was really nice to be welcomed. I mean, we kept our distance, but that was a pretty long walk for them to come across their yard, their field, because we are really out there. But they came over and we stood outside and talked, and they invited us to come over anytime. They invited us to use their riding lawnmower.
Oh, that's so sweet.
Yeah, they were very, very nice. So this
Oh, yeah.
is nice. And I work in healthcare. Will works in telecommunications for AT&T, and we're hustlers. We're busy folk.
Yeah, you are. And tell us how many children you guys have.
So we are the official yours, mine, and ours. I don't care what you've seen on TV. Stories based on us.
Right.
So our saying is we have 7 children. Our saying is they have what 17, but we were smart enough to stop at 7. Our last name ends in ER. The Duggars end in AR. So we've got several shows tied in there. We've got the Duggars, we got the yours, mine, and ours. We got all of that going for us. So,
Nice.
but yeah, we're blended and we love it.
Yes.
Well, I just think it's so cute. You're right. You do have the Duggar last name. You do have a big family, but that's
Mhm.
about where the commonality stops.
Yeah, you're right.
But the one thing about being a Duggar, you're all so tall.
Yes,
Yes.
we have a height requirement, just like when you go to the amusement park. Absolutely, you must be taller than this to Duggar.
I
And
can
just
teach
for
them
fun,
the
since
better.
they don't see you guys standing up. Bill, how tall are you, sweetie?
I'm 6'5".
And Jean, how tall are you?
I'm short. I'm 5'11".
I love it. Renee's 5'11". Yeah. I'm 5'5". I can't be a Duggar, but I could be adopted if I could really talk my way into it.
We would adopt you in a heartbeat. You got
Mhm.
7 kids running around calling you Auntie Jen. Yeah. Yeah. But you are definitely in our family, Jen. We love you.
I love you so much. So for those who have not seen Connecting with Jennifer Filzen, so this is a little show that I decided to create because I wanted people to connect. And what's so fun about Will and Jean is that we met in the hot tub at the hotel at
Mhm.
Lisa Nichols Speak and Write event in Newport Beach, California. In was it October of 2019 or was
It
it
was
November?
October of 2019.
Yes.
So we met and we just clicked, and now we're like fast friends and we adore each other. And I would love to be Auntie Jen to your brood. They are really great kids. But like seriously, it's just so much fun how you meet people and you connect with them, and they're such fun people. These two, this little married couple here, they're adorable, and I just figured it'd be fun to talk with them. So, my darlings, question number one, and you
Mhm.
guys take turns answering it. You can answer it as a unit. But I know, here's the thing. I know this happens in my own family, so I'm going to guess
Okay.
it happens in your family. The women are talkers, and the men just sit there and listen. So, Will, chime in, please. Don't be
I'll have
shy.
to tell you a story about that too.
Well, hey, it happens in our family. Every time I call home to my family, the women are on the phone, the men are in the background going,
Yep.
Mhm.
Yep.
Mhm.
You're absolutely right.
Okay, so the first question is, what makes you special and unique?
Now I'm gonna try something new. Honey, do you want to take that one first?
um,
Go, Will,
what makes
go.
us unique? Our creativity.
Ooh, tell me more.
Um, let's see.
This is why us women talk so much.
It's okay, we love.
Um,
Well,
go ahead.
well,
So
I know an answer, but I don't know if Will wants to go there. But Will, you love your comic book collection, and
Yes.
you love your action figures. Tell me a little bit about that creativity and how you felt with some of that stuff.
Um, I've always admired the comic books and since I was young, and it just something that carried on through with me.
when I met Will, and I had a sister that was older than me that was with me the second time I met Will. I met Will because of great customer service. And I live my life about great customer service. But when I met him, he had like a little shag rug with Hot Wheel cars in the back window of his car. And I was like, oh, really? Come on. Come on. And my sister was like, I think that's really creative. I actually really like that. He's a nice guy. I think he likes you. I was like, never. It won't happen. It will not happen.
Hmm.
And she, and it's funny how people in your life make you see that what you think is childish or whatever is actually, beautiful creativity. Will loves Transformers, he loves Marvel, he loves all of that stuff. And he grew up with it. And the fact that all that stuff is coming back and he's able to share that with our kids. And
Right?
now it's like the adult thing. I mean, I have so many friends that are nurses and doctors that, especially the doctors, they're like, oh yeah, I've got my whole collection and all this stuff. And like I said, we're yours, mine, and ours. So my son that I was pregnant with when I met Will,
Hmm.
his dad, who we are the greatest friends with. We have the
Hmm.
greatest family. We're the
Good.
greatest friends with. I'm great friends with his wife. I'm great friends with him. He and I share the same birthday. He tries to make sure he's the first one. He tries to beat Will to say happy birthday with me. But he and Will, they like date each other because they're big comic book lovers. They're big Marvel lovers. They get together with the kids and they talk the history. So they don't just talk about like the upcoming shows. They talk the history. They talk the childhood. They talk all of that. So it's nice to see something like that come full circle. And whereas, when I was young, my dad shared Wonder Woman with me, and I just love Wonder Woman. And when we do our superhero remarriage, you and Renee have to come down. And even though, we initially started as, oh, you can be Marvel, you can be DC, I was like, you know what? People need to be able to be whatever they feel is their superhero. So if they come as, whatever teacher they liked or whatever, but anyway, that's kind of a bond that we never knew was what was holding us together, what we had as children. And I loved my art. I used to draw anything and everything. And when I met Will, like I made him a Transformer jean jacket. When I look at it now, I'm like, oh my God, that's horrible.
Really?
But
That's
I just knew he loved it. So I would always try to do stuff. And even my son is a robotics creator, but he's made Will all kinds of swords and gauntlets and all kind of stuff and created comics. He's created a comic of me. That's why I told him about Renee. And that's what I believe my hubby is saying about our creativity is that
Yes.
we all do share. We have, besides myself being an artist, I have oh gosh, let's see. Bria is an artist. Elijah is an artist. Will Jr. is an artist. Isaiah loves to draw. Um, yeah, and Mike likes to create music.
Yeah.
They've all got some type of creativity that they just love. You know, everybody sees us and they're like basketball team, and we're like probably can't make a basket, dude. Probably can't.
Not
Nope.
even if we were standing
In
under
our
it.
Yeah.
Yeah, you could
Yeah.
totally be your own. You could be your own content marketing firm.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Yes.
Yeah, we can draw that basketball hoop.
Mm-hmm.
We can
Decorate it.
we can print it on a 3D printer.
Right.
Put it on a 3D printer, put some music as a soundtrack. You know,
That's
Will's
right.
IT thing going on. Yeah,
We can
create.
dance on the court, and I
Yeah.
can put some hair and makeup on that mug.
Oh,
Let
there
me
you
tell
go. There you go, baby. Work it. Camera ready, Duggars.
you. That's right. That's right.
There's no reason. I mean, there's no doubt why I dig the Duggars. Hello, I love you. I love you guys so much.
That's my next book. Why you dig the Duggars?
Well, our unofficial name is the Gold Duggars.
Yes. We have gold Duggars on everything. It's my signature and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And when we first said it, people were like, Gold Duggars? What the heck? And I was like, we're rich in love. Like, see, you guys got the wrong thinking.
Mm-hmm.
So that's been our thing since forever.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That
Then people come over and they're like, we're at the Duggars. Like, no, you're at the Gold Duggars.
oh my God.
He has a brother that got married. Well, he's not married to this young lady anymore, but she had said, well, if you guys are going to be Gold Duggars, we're going to be Platinum Duggars. I said, honey, we built that gold. We built that gold. It's not a bar gold. It's not the type of gold you're thinking. You know, with blood, sweat, tears. You know, and you put love into all that stuff. It's a lot of work. So you can't just come and slap your name on it and try to outdo us. But you know, we are who we are. We have plenty of mistakes and errors and all that stuff, and you know, we just keep coming for you.
Yeah. Can't
How
stop
many-
a Gold Digger.
How many years y'all been married?
20.
Fantastic. That's
We are ghetto. This is how we remember how many years we've been together and how many years we've been married. Our two youngest, Isaiah and Elijah, we always say Elijah is the number of years we've been married. Isaiah is the number of years we've been together. Because I was pregnant with Isaiah when we met,
That's
and I
makes sense.
quickly told this guy, I was like, yeah, I said,
I didn't see it as a problem.
he didn't know I was pregnant. He worked at Radio Shack. Isn't it a great place to come together at?
You know, Radio Shack is where all the sexy dudes were. You know, hey.
That's right. That's right. All these people hanging out in clubs and stuff. I go get my man at the tech store. Yeah.
Hey, you know what? There's some truth to that. Seriously, like think about it. You know, the guys hanging out and the girls. Well, not too many girls, but like you know, those that hung out at Radio Shack back in the day, those were our ham radio operators. Those were our future computer people. Those were our future Wi-Fi technicians. Like these, you know, it may not have had much clout, but that was the hangout for the soon to be game developers and
There
everything.
you go.
You know, I'm sure Steve Jobs went into Radio Shack a few times.
See there? See there? He should have came right over here to Ohio.
Mm-hmm.
But he told me right away, you know, I was like, look, dude, not trying it. I'm pregnant, you know.
Back up a little bit. Okay, you said that you guys met in a customer service situation with Radio Shack. Could you please give us a little bit more background about how you guys met and fell in love?
I was working at Radio Shack.
The story's told differently, just a disclosure.
I know.
Story's told
not,
differently.
No, it's the truth. Anyway, I was working at Radio Shack, and Gene walked into my store. I was working with another customer, and Gene was working with Larry, the guy I was working with. And so I noticed her over there, but I didn't get a chance to talk to her. When she left, I turned to Larry and was like, "There go my next wife," and he's like, "Yeah, right." I'm like, "Okay." So anyway, she came back again.
Well, I originally came to get a jack for my phone that used to plug into the wall, for all the kids out there that don't know what that is. And then I also had a planner because I was high tech. I had a little planner that you can keep all your names and phone numbers because people used to remember your phone numbers back then.
Right.
And I was like, can I exchange this? He was like, well, no, but I can fix it for you. I was like, yeah, I don't think so. He was like, well, I can fix it. I just can't fix it through Radio Shack. I was like, nah. I said, let me think about it, but he got me hooked up with the jack. And then I left and my dad was with me. And I had waited a couple weeks. I couldn't find anybody else to do it. I said, that guy at Radio Shack was really nice. And I call and he's not there anymore. I'm like, hey, because I had his card because he was a great businessman. And I said, is this William Duggar? Is he there? They were like, he's not here anymore. I was like, what? I daggone it. And just as I got ready to ask that guy if he could help me, which I already knew was a negative, he said, oh, he just went to our other store on the other side of town. So I found him. And in that time, I took my sister. So he met a lot of my family before he officially met a lot of my family. And the funny thing is that when my dad found out that he asked me to date him and everything, and he says, oh, I like that guy. And my sister says the same thing. Oh, we like this guy. I'm like, it's the Radio Shack guy. What's the Radio Shack guy? What's the issue here? But time will tell. He lost that job for me.
Oh.
Yep, because I told him, I said, you know what? After I had the baby, that I was going to go to Florida to see my family, and he was like, I don't have that type of vacation time, but you're going to be my wife, so I'm going. Yep, and his boss fired him, but you know what?
We went.
We went. We went, and everything was fine.
You guys are amazing. You're so cute. So cute. Will, I feel like getting you a cape with like Radio Shack Man, like is the
Cool.
He would love that. He would wear it.
Sure would.
And we know it has to be red because if you're married to Gene, it has to be red.
No, actually, mine is blue.
This house is divided by red and blue. We all respect each other's colors. It's not a team bound or anything. However,
Awesome.
because our two youngest sons are here, Isaiah is a blue person. Elijah is a red person. Will is a blue person, and I am a red person. So, it's funny because when you touch things in the house, you know who it belongs to by the color. When the girls were here, it was pink and purple, and then we had two more blues. But you always knew what belonged to everybody because we all like different shades of certain colors.
Right? That is cute. And with a big family like that, yeah, you have to have identifiers, right? Nobody can have the same colored whatever, or it just gets
right.
Doesn't it?
Right. When we couldn't remember their names, we just call them by number.
Right. And number 3.
That's fun. So you have a big family. You guys are so much fun. Who do you serve in your life? And what I mean by that is it can be anything. There's the people that you work with, there's the people in your family, there's the hobbies that you have and the communities that you're in. So when you think about it, and you serve each other, obviously. So who do you serve in your life? And if you feel like adding to the layer, why? Why are you involved with these groups, and what do you love about them?
You want to go first? Or you want me to go first?
I'll let you go first.
Well, of course, we serve God. And the thing about it is that, again, when I met Will, I felt like there was a lot I didn't know about my own Christianity that Will definitely opened the door for, and still does to this day. And when I think about service overall in my life of who I serve, from my parents to my sisters to my children, for the longest time, of course, my parents, who both passed together because they loved each other. And it's just a different type of love. But, you learn who you serve through your parents. And when you have a great foundation like that, at least the way I felt when we had children is that, we as children, we don't know we want to be here. We're just here. We don't know what kind of family we're going to get. We just get it. So if you have a family and you're blessed to have friends that become family just like you know, you serve that person. You serve yourself first because you have to be around, just like the airline. You have to serve and take care of yourself so that way you can take care of others. And sometimes we think we know that, but sometimes you have to get it. But I served well. When we first met, that was one of the things that my mom has always told us, because I'm the youngest of 6 girls. Will's the oldest of six kids, but our families both are blended and is seamlessly blended. And our parents have other kids outside of just that number, because like my mom literally adopted all of her sister's kids
Wow.
and my dad's brother's kid, and they're all doing well. They're doing really well, better than us, because my parents laid down that great foundation, and I never understood that. Why take care of them? Because she served God, and then that's what that's what her service was doing, is taking care of other people. And I could never be an eighth of that woman, because she was just awesome. She was awesome. And Will's mom was different from my mom. It was very different to see somebody just, so sweet, so kind, so loving. Not that my mom wasn't all of those things, but Will's mother she can be very passive. So when you do something wrong, she might let it slide, where my mom snatch you up. But she served her children because of the way their family was. Whereas I was in a family, my mom and dad were there all the time. They've been married for 50 years. They died together. Will's mom really took care of his family from beginning to end. Now, with every little teeny tiny bit she had, and she did not have much. So she had to take care of the family and be the mom, be the dad. She had to be that shoulder to cry on, So she always felt, when I talked to her about it, she always felt like she had to say yes to a lot of things because she felt responsible. So she served her kids first. I think we all come through this a little bit differently. I've changed over the last few years. I've let a lot just go that I used to be concerned about and worried about and things like that. And I feel like I'm such a better person because now, of course, I focus on myself, but I do it so that I can take care of my hubby, so I can take care of my kids, so I can, take care of other people that come along the way. Being in healthcare, especially not being clinical like a nurse or a doctor, it's hard to feel like you really have a spot. And people come to me all the time, thanks, Jean, for your help. We couldn't have done this without you, but I never realized how much service I was providing to them. And Will takes care of people in the telecommunications area, and his days can be pretty rough. And, he has to deal with a wife that comes home and says, "Be positive. Don't let that get to you. You're gonna have a great day." I will. No, you're gonna have a great day. You have to believe it. You have to believe it. If you don't believe it, it won't happen. But when you see things like that soaking in, most recently here over the last few months, I used to always laugh at my previous employer, the previous hospital that I worked with, unfortunately closed. It's one of the greatest hospitals ever that served a lot of people that couldn't take care of themselves. But when I worked for that hospital, I used to be comfortable in saying, this job funds my dreams. It funds genius motivation. I'm gonna get there. And they loved that and they supported me. And I used to always say that, and I used to say it to Will. Come home, oh yeah, I love that job that supports my dreams. Blah blah blah. Well, we recently, the house that we were renting, because we've always brought our house, but we rented this time until we figured out what we want to do. And the owners of that home decided to up and sell it, and it wasn't the greatest experience. And one day we're riding down the road, and this is when it clicked to me that when so many of us women think that our husbands aren't listening, you know that they're listening. Is we were driving down the road, and the wife of the landlord had called and really got under Will's skin. Really got under Will's skin. It was really hard because we've always paid our rent on time or ahead, and we take great care of the place. We actually were going to buy it, but that day when she got under his skin, and she actually called our new owner that flipped this house for us. Will screamed as we're riding down the road. He goes, "She's trying to get in the way of our dreams." And I just was like, wow, he is dreaming with me. He is dreaming with me. He does want more. I used to always ask him, babe, you're not done yet, are you? Because I got a long way to go. This body hurts every single day, every single minute, but in no way am I washed up. I will just get my way to the finish line. I'll get there. But, as women, just being honest, sometimes, you think, hey, are you paying attention? Are you listening? What's going on? And on that day, and many other days, But most recently, that day really holds on to my heart because I seen it. He was just like, not happening.
Right? And you guys have signed up to be with some pretty strong women who want to reach their dreams. And God bless you,
That's
Will.
right.
Hey,
Okay.
you guys support us, and you are our partners in the pursuit, and we love you for it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Will, tell me about who you serve besides your gorgeous Jean there.
I guess basically I would say I probably serve my family. Um, being the oldest, it was always seemed for me, to try and take care of like my younger brothers and sisters, and then make sure that they were okay, and try and do what I could to protect them. Also, as an older brother, it was my job to torment them, but that was my job. But basically, take care of them, watch out for them, and everything. But I find that as a father, that's just magnified. I do have to do everything to watch out for them, to protect them, to try and guide them, and to be there for them. For me, that was probably the most important, is to be there for them when they need me. Because when I was growing up, my father wasn't there, to guide me along. So um, it was just basically built within me to try and, to take care of them.
Well, you're doing a good job, sweetheart.
Thank you.
Yeah. And who do you serve at work? Are you serving the internal of AT&T, or are you serving external?
External, I'm a premise technician. My job is basically the install and repair of UVerse TV, Direct TV, and fiber, uh, uh, fiber optic internet.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Yes, the world
And
cannot exist without you, buddy. We're all dependent upon what you provide.
Yeah, and Cow Country has zero internet. I'm just gonna tell you. Yeah.
Really? Well, hold on.
Really?
You guys are able to do this with me. You're doing it through your phone line versus.
I'm doing it through my phone, and we had to buy our own hotspot to be able to do everything else. And yeah, so it's been like, yeah.
It's basically two cans and a long string.
Yeah. Yeah. We got a lot of string around this part here.
Right.
Wow. Yeah. How is it? Just out of curiosity, transferring from urban life to cow country.
Yeah.
And being the gentleman and gentlewoman farmers that you are. Yuck, yuck, yuck. You guys can start doing a garden? What are you gonna do? You gonna start getting your own chickens? Like
Let
what?
me tell you something. I'm open to do anything now. Gardening might be a bit much as I kill everything, but but when the lady was talking about the chickens, I was like, I think I can handle some chickens, But then when she started talking about feeding them and stuff, I was like, oh, they do got to eat them. That may not be for me, But then she started talking about llamas and it's funny when they start talking about stuff. I really perked up, like I think I can do that. No, I don't think I can do it. I tell you what, the one thing is that we've been so open to it because I was like, this is it's so beautiful out here. The sun gently wakes you up, as I'm sure it does in Carmel. It's in this beautiful sunsets and it's just wide open. Well, the only the the only thing is, when those chickens started going, I was like, that is the neatest thing in the world to hear those chickens. I was like, oh, this is really great. This is really great. Well, then I said, okay, I'm gonna start small. I think that I said, let's get a bird feeder. This is how bad it is, Jen. This is I'm telling you, you're gonna talk to me in a couple years and I'm gonna be advanced. I'm gonna move up. I might have a chicken. But I said, I think I want a bird feeder. And Will was like, okay. I said, because they're so pretty and I like chimes. I like seeing them spin in the wind and stuff. I said, let's get a bird feeder. So we're at Menards and I see all these pretty bird feeders. Of course, I'm looking at the red ones and stuff. And I said, I can go ahead and hang it. Oops.
Sorry.
I said, I can hang it from, my little bay window. This is going to be awesome. And, I'm just thinking of all these great things I can do with the bird feeder. Well, then after I picked one out, Will was like, what kind of bird seed do you want to get? I was like, what? Bird seed? And oh, I got to provide.
You mean I gotta do all the extra stuff too?
I was like, bird seed? And I had that's just too stressful for me. I might, I would probably get it in the beginning and load it up and everything, and then after it's gone, I'd probably be like, "There's no birds coming. What's going on?" Yeah, I think I really thought that I could settle out there and it would be so beautiful that the birds would be. I'm gonna go hang out at the Duggars house. So that's how disconnected I am.
Well, okay. I am with you. I follow you and I get it because, like, for example, at my grandma's house in Bunnell, Florida, the house that I hope to buy when the time comes, she has a backyard. It's very park-like, and lots of trees, lots of squirrels, lots of birds, and we've even had their neighbor. I asked him to do me the favor of making a little birdhouse with a little sign, and it was something that Grandma always wanted to have, and then we just made it happen for her birthday. And it says King Park because their last name is King. King Park.
Yeah.
Squirrels, birds, and children welcome. Dogs tolerated, cats forbidden. And the fun thing for me, I mean, what, I'm 49 years old going on 50 and I still am like a child. I go to grandma's house and what's the first thing I want to do? I want to run out in the backyard and I want to feed the
Yep.
squirrels. I want to feed the squirrels their peanuts. And if I see that the bird seed is low or if there's not enough corn on the ground, then I want to go pour all that for the animals. Now, if I had to start that myself, Jean, I'm with you. I wouldn't know what to do. It's like, what kind of bird seed do I need? But since grandma's already got it set up and it's like, okay, corn, bird seed, peanuts. All right, done. I'm good. And it's my thing. I love, and I even have my squirrel calling. I'm like, squirrel,
See?
squirrel. Like, they know my voice now. They're like,
We're the type of people that don't go camping, we go glamping. Certain things have to be in place for us. We don't want to do it from the beginning, though. No, 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 no.
right, show me how to do it, and then I'll be self-sufficient. But if I have to learn how to do it on my own, like cooking, no, I don't want to do that.
Hey, we're busy women. We're busy women, Jen. It's allowed.
Yeah, we're running businesses.
That's right. That's right.
We are, and not everyone can run a business. So hey, I think everyone can, and then they tell me they can't. And I'm like, oh, I guess I do have a skill, huh? Right?
Well, no, I'm like still looking for it. I found a few of them, but I got to get it together.
Well, okay, let's talk about that. All right. So
Okay.
we're in the healthcare world for a very long time. You are such an amazingly dynamic personality. Like you, girl, you've got more charisma in one little fingernail of yours compared to like some of us in our entire bodies. Like, girl, that's why I love you so much. And like you're going to
Thank you.
succeed and your dreams are going to come true just because you are just so enthusiastic about life and trying new things. So here you are, you don't have that old job, you're in transition. What are you going to do, baby? Make it tell us your future. What's your next 5 years, girl?
Okay. So the book has taken the front level because I'm all about my speaking. I'm all about what I want to do, but my plan for my speaking is not as concrete and solidified as I need it to be because I've been so busy with this craziness. But what I really want to do is hone in on my book and how I want to do my book. I want to do it, and I want my first book to be completed. I would say before the end of summer. Yeah, I really want to get in on it. The move and the change in the job and everything has definitely slowed me down and put the brakes on some things. Well, no, I'm not going to say the brakes because I've definitely been dabbling and doing some things. Being in a new setting in healthcare, it's it's kind of, it's slow. It's slow in the area I'm in because I handle a lot of nursing schedules and stuff like that and aid schedules, but it's been slow. Now, do I want to start my new job out sneaking my outline for my book? No. But when it's slow, that's what I want to do. But, I get up every morning. I listen to all of my motivation and everybody that we love. Lisa, Les Brown, I listen to everybody that we love. I stay on with my coaching courses. The world, the universe works things out the way it's supposed to. I got ready to, really kick it in the high gear with HCI so I could get my life coaching and health coaching classes done. And she called right before the move, and I told her, I said, hey, look, the hospital I work for just closed. I said, and now we're in the middle of a move. I said, I'm not going to do this right now because what if I don't have the time? And now, on the other side of that, I definitely have changed from that person of putting things off. When I say I don't have the time, I don't mean we're going to go for this next year. I mean, like, later this month. So that was the big thing, for me to make sure that she understands, even though she doesn't know who old Jean is. I wanted her to know that, hey, this is serious for me. Genius Motivation has to kick off all of the visions of Genius Motivation, from Genius Motivation in coaching, Genius Motivation in nutrition, Genius books. All of those have to take off. I'm not giving myself any wiggle room. It has to work. And I do, get in my head about, why isn't my plan clear? If my plan was clear, I can focus on it and it will happen. But I get up every day, and even as you and I've been talking, all of my reminders that say Genius Motivation's a hit, Genius Motivation's they're all constantly coming at me because that's what I believe. And when I started really wanting to get back, because I used to be a motivational speaker ways back and help a lot of people that did weight loss surgery and in the medical community, and everyone told me I had it, including my husband, and I just didn't believe it. And I didn't believe that there was a place for it either. I thought, hey, this is the medical world. These people have something they want to do. They've got weight issues, they've got emotional issues, they've got psychiatric issues, and they like hearing me talk and they like asking me for advice. But there's no marketplace for this. Come on. Okay. But if I would have started back then, I may not have met the great J Phil. So things happen when they're supposed to. And I just think that, if I get on my book and talk about all of my weight struggles, and that's new too, to have to start someplace new and people say, oh my God, you're so thin and and you don't have to worry about clothing. And I'm like, who are they looking at? who are they talking to? And sometimes I hate to start the conversation off with, well, you're looking at a woman that was over 400 pounds. Sometimes saying that over and over again, I'm like, I've never been that person to be like, hey, I'm on a diet, don't give me this, don't do that, and I'm not and say ew when you offer certain things, and I've never been that person. When I do things, I have to make sure that I commit to it for me. I tell the closest people that are involved in my life because, and I'm not judging anyone. It's just not a game for me. It's not a game for me. I have rheumatoid arthritis. It's not I can turn it on and turn it off. So I'm constantly dealing with pain and everything else. And just like I don't want to talk about that all the time to everybody I meet, it's the same with my weight. I want to tell them, I'm managing my health because there was never a point in my life, thank you, Jesus, because I know it's so for so many other people. There was never a point in my life where I did not like myself. There was never a point in my life that I felt like I'm this ugly fat girl or anything like that. Oh, honey, no. Never, ever, ever. My mom raised me and my sisters to know that we have it and we've just got a lot of it.
You are a beautiful human being inside and out. So yes, your outside package is gorgeous, but part of it is because your inside is so lovely.
Thank you. And that's just what I love about you, babe. I got you, babe.
I love it. I love it. So tell me a little bit about your why. I want to know, what is it that drives Jean to get up out of bed every day and face her rheumatoid arthritis pain and face her stuff to do what you do? What's driving it, baby?
My kids. My kids. Like I said, we're a blended family. We're yours, mine, and ours. I don't fool myself. My stepkids have their mom, and we are blended big. So with Will, there's three baby mamas. With me, there's a baby daddy, and then there's us. And people hear me talk about Isaiah and Elijah a lot. My two youngest boys, Elijah is ours together. Isaiah is mine with Barry, and they have the same birthday and they're 2 years apart. But all of my kids are special. And like Bria has twin girls now, and they are something else. And Will Jr. has a little boy and just had a little baby girl. Brandon's in a new relationship. Jazz is transitioning. And Elijah, I mean, all of my kids are awesome. Michael is, it's funny because mental illness affects everybody a different way. Michael has been stricken with the mental illness whammy, and he deals with it with grace because some mornings he wakes up and he may not have a clue. You know what I mean? But if you've ever seen Rain Man, he's similar to that. He is the smartest on one end of the spectrum, and another things he may not get it, but if you tell him about it, he has it. That's it. He has it. He'll know more about you than you know about you.
He's the
And
musician.
yes, he'll tell you. Mike, Mike, I laugh when I talk about Mike because sometimes his condition makes him see things differently. Like sometimes he calls me Mama Jean, and sometimes the kids call me MJ. But he'll always be like, Mama Jean, don't forget we're getting those tattoos together and blah blah blah, and don't forget that when we go on this rap tour and all this stuff. And he talks like that, and you start to believe like, oh, did I say that? Did that really happen? Or he'll be like, remember that one time we robbed that bank? What are you talking about? And it's funny and it's not funny and it's life and so sometimes when Mike calls, because Mike calls me like 10 times a day, and he'll call me and he'll just be like he'll start off right away. There's no you know long whatever. He comes at you. He's like, how are you? Okay, so today I've done blah 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 blah, and he just takes you through everything that he's doing and he wants to do and all that stuff. So I usually listen through, and then If I get them off track, then yeah, it's like, remember when we robbed that bank? I'm like, what? But he loves to spend time with me. He always tells me, he goes, being a minister and a rapper at the same time. I'm like, oh God, then you have to see the day where he talks about his wives. He's like, having 5 wives is really hard. I'm like, Mikey, bless your sweet little heart. But you believe him, and he takes you to a different world. That's the great thing about him. Mike takes you to this different world in seconds, But all of my kids are special. Like I said, people hear me talk about Isaiah and Elijah because I shoved those two out myself. And they make my world go around. They make my world go around. They make life happen for me in a way that I can't even explain. I'm so proud of all my children, but they there's I feel like a queen when I'm at home, even though yeah they give me a hard time. I punch them from time to time because they're nuts. But if I go to lift something, Elijah's picking it up. If I say I need something, I wish I had something, Isaiah's getting it for me. Elijah is my creative. Me and him collaborate on everything, everything. Our artistic minds are very much the same. That's why he's never gotten into any major trouble because he is me. And Isaiah's never gotten into any trouble because he is my dad.
Got it.
He is my dad. He's just a timely kid. He does everything on time. He does everything by the directions. My kids are my why. My kids are the why I do everything. I brought this saucer out here to put in the trees in the country out here so that when the twins come over, it was Bria's girls, and when Will Jr. comes down from Michigan, their kids can get on this saucer and swing their little lives away. I'm just full of love and proud of my kids, and I'm part of my kids. Will and I, we have a strong foundation, and when our kids were younger, we had to deal with people that whether it be friends or family. Hey, let's do this. It's the middle of the week, it's late at night, and we say no. We say no, and respectfully don't care what you have to say about it, because it was more important that our kids came home, did homework, had a good dinner, talked to us about what's going on with their day, who they're involved with, what they're doing. Our kids didn't get cell phones handed to them. When it came time for cell phones, it's like, here's a phone. You can add 2 friends. You can add 3 relatives. If you do good over the next few months, then maybe you can add another friend. And that's the way we did with everything. We see, we think about it, we discuss it, and then we go forward from there. And when there's a gap between Isaiah and Elijah and all of my older children, so when they got older, when they moved out, yeah, they come back and say they realize certain things because they're having their own children now. But I told Will, and Will and I agreed that we were just going to do things a certain way, and if our kids don't understand now, no matter how much is explained, they'll understand when they get older. Prayerfully. I understood a lot of things by the time I hit 22. And right. Isaiah and Elijah tend to understand a lot of things very, very young. Bria with twins is understanding things tenfold. Will Jr. works a month on and a month off because he works on those big, huge barge boats. So his wife has to stay home and hold down the fort.
Oh, wow.
And so she has to realize a lot of things. And they have a mixed relationship. She's white, and they love each other. And that's one thing it's never been an issue in our family because Will and I were the same way. We've crossed the line several times, and it was never surprising to us that our kids, love kids of other color. It's not, they might think it's a surprise to us because, kids think that you came out like this. We try to tell them sometimes, no matter how many times you tell kids, hey, it's okay, it's okay, you can talk to me about anything, they still hold back. I know even with Jazz, when Jazz woke us up in the middle of the night when she was 12 years old, tell us that she thought she was bisexual, the first thing we said is, "Are you pregnant?" And she said, "No." Okay, well, go to bed. We could talk about everything else later. You know.
But that was cool though that she came to you at 12. That's
Yeah.
fantastic. But you're right,
Yeah.
like pregnant? Okay, good. We don't have to worry. Okay, let's go back to sleep.
Right. I was like, is there anybody's parents I need to call so we can all get together and talk about what we're going to do next? No, there's not. Okay, well, it's 3 a.m. So your dad and I have to get some sleep. We can deal with bisexual, but we got to include other folks if there's a baby on the way. So, and then, and even with her, she's transitioning. And so I think our biggest point with that was, when she told us, she had actually moved to California. Jasmine's a hustler. She's everywhere. She's everywhere. She'll get up one morning and be like, I want to move to Wisconsin, and she'll be there. And she used to serve in the Air Force. And when she went to California, she sends us a text and says, oh, yeah, I think about transitioning and everything. And I'm like, well, again, I don't know when you're going to understand we're not surprised by these things. We're your parents, so we see certain things that kind of give us the red flag. But we're okay.
Yeah.
We're okay, but we wish we could have been next to you.
Right.
This technology, I mean, now we're seeing it with Corona. Now you want to see people and talk to people face to face and touch people and hug people and love on people. But our younger generation wants to, hey, let me send you a text. And I'm not okay with that. I'm like, I'm okay with you transitioning. I'm not okay with the text.
Right. Yeah, I love you. I want to be there. So she's removing the tops. She's removing the tops.
She is thinking about top surgery. She has some other medical issues that, she has to take care of, but she is considering that. But she's definitely started the hormone therapy and things like that. But she's going step by step by step. She deals with a lot. She's had a lot go on in her life, and we've learned to stand back and just say, you know what, do whatever you're going to do. We're still going to be here. That's sometimes what you got to do with your kids. You just got to step way, way back, way back. And we've learned that. We just step back and, hope that we love us. You're not going to walk over us. You're never going to walk over us. You go do it, because we didn't teach you to do that, nor do we want to be a part of that. So, we just love all of our children. We appreciate them. We're glad they're having families. We're glad they're moving forward. We're glad they're all safe now, with all this craziness going on. But yeah, our kids are definitely our why.
The safety issue. I mean, not just like keeping healthy, but also to the gentleman, I have his name wrong. It's Ahmaud Arbery, guy that was the black man who was jogging through the neighborhood.
Yes.
It's like, what? What? He's jogging.
He was jogging. But
because he, and I'm glad they caught the father and son team that did that. But yeah, you guys with your family, you probably have to have conversations that you, just like the one at 3 a.m. Are you pregnant? Is there anybody I have to talk to? That you have other safety issues.
Right.
Now, living in the section of Dayton out in cow country that you're in, you feeling safe? Are you feeling good?
And that was a concern for us, because when Kevin, we have the greatest friends, Kevin and Tracy. I always take credit for them because they got together because I put them together. Way back when me and Tracy were kids. And Kevin came walking into our employer, which at the time was Burger King. But yeah, so when Kevin said, hey, I brought this house at auction, I'll flip for you. When I tell you this house was a little bungalow, farmhouse, dilapidated, I mean dilapidated, full of just, I was like, no thanks. And he was like, I'll fix it up for you, cheap rent, blah, blah, blah. I was like, we'll stick out here, but I have always been the type that no matter where I am, I can connect. I can connect. And if I can't, I feel bad for the other person and I just pray for them.
Yeah.
But for my family, it's harder. For me, I'm fine. For my family, it's harder for me to say, hey, everything will be all right. Now, they know it'll be all right. But for me, I'm always concerned. I'm always like, oh no, what's going to happen? And so, I have some friends that live out here that have farms,
Oh yeah.
that have goats, that have a lot of things. And
Nice.
one of my friends had said to me, she goes, Jean, she goes, I'm just going to let you know. She goes, there's not that many of you out there. she said, so, I want you to know that. And I said, oh, I seen the half percent on the
Right.
on the census. I said, but I'm filling out my census so that way we can get to over one, and when the Duggars are gonna, we're gonna bump that number up. So,
Right.
she was like, she goes, and the cops can be a bit Barney Fife. I said, you know what? I said, I'm just gonna do what I always do. If I used to get pulled over a lot, Jim, but that's another story, another day. But
That's
I'm gonna do what I'm supposed to do and pray that that person is gonna do their job correctly. Because this world just needs that.
mm,
But the people across the street moved in the day before we did, the day before we officially moved in, because we've been coming to this property for a year now, watching it develop.
uh-huh.
Watching it go from timbers to, a skeleton to everything being gutted out. And we've been wondering, like, what are the neighbors thinking? And when I say neighbors, I mean, it'll take me a minute to get across the road or the field, but we have uh, three people that are close to us.
Uh-huh.
But like I can go outside and scream, and they might hear a muffled sound, but yeah. But
Oh,
yeah, so
that's
we were
another
concerned.
that's
Huh?
another God, I never even thought about that. Oh my gosh, you're right.
Yeah.
So you have privacy, but you are isolated, and if you scream and you need help, oh God, Jean, I never even thought about that.
Yeah. Yeah, but we are only 20 minutes from where we used to live. So it's funny because I told Will on the way home today, do you need anything while I'm in town? And I was like, in town? What am I saying? In town? I was like, that is so weird, but there's a Speedway, there's a Wendy's and something else, probably within 3 or 4 minutes if you drive into town. But when you look out my back window, it is just farm country. It's just farmland, and then these big, huge machines come and knock stuff down and take down. And our neighbors told us, she was like, yeah, there's a pretty big tractor that's going to come through here. And she said they mow the property in the back, and there's a cemetery down the road, but the only access is through our yard. So they go through their yard. She was like, so every once in a while you'll see that over in our property. I was like, oh, okay. Is anybody coming through ours? Just let us know. And we got this little, what we call a shed in the back, to put all kind of stuff in because our attic wasn't as big. And I wanted the shed. Well, they quickly let us know that that is a small barn. So they're like, oh, we like your barn. I'm like, we have a barn? Well, yeah.
Wait a
I was
minute.
like, we do. We have a barn and it has a little porch on it. So, and it was neat to see them bring it out here and set it up for us and everything. It was a one-man show on a big semi.
Hold on. Back up. How big is this shed slash barn? Because when I think of a shed, when I think of a shed, I think of something that you buy that you have to assemble from Home Depot, and it might be 6 foot by 6 foot, and it holds a lawnmower and some gardening gear. What size shed are you talking about?
It's a little bit bigger than that, but it does have like the little loft. It has a little front porch that we've got the little chairs on. It's like a little cabin, and that's why I liked it. I was like, it's a little cabin.
Is
So
that
I'll
where you're
make sure I
staying? Or
show it to you here shortly. But yeah, I just I thought it was like a little cabin, so that's why we got it. But they were like, "Oh, we like your barn." I'm like, "That's a barn, okay." But yeah, that's what they say it is. So it's a barn. But We and my son enjoyed the fact that there was two trees right across from each other, so he brought a hammock.
Nice.
And last weekend, he strung that hammock up and got in it, and he looked like a taquito. I've never laughed so hard in my life. So I went and got me one of those freestanding chair hammocks
Oh yeah.
because I was like, I want to fit in too. But these people have been great. You know, the new neighbors. So we're the new neighbors. They're the new news. And then our egg neighbors. And then I haven't met. There's an elderly lady across the road that they told us that she asked if she could put her trash in the lady across the street's place because she doesn't have that much trash. And she was like, oh, so, every once in a while you might see them. I was like, okay, that's fine with us, but we really enjoy it. However, the other night I told Will to go out to the barn to get something of mine. I forgot what it was. And and my son opened the back door. My son's standing next to him in the kitchen, but he goes and he opens the back door. He goes to walk out and sees these glowing eyeballs and
What was it?
comes back in the house and tells my son, I'm not going out there. And my son was like, oh, Dad, give me a break. So he opens the door to go out there, and the glowing eyeballs are still there. They're not budging. And so Will comes into me. He said, something's out. Now there is a wood shed out there that's been out there since we got here, and it is full of wood. And we have a wood burner. That's why we're hoping that the wood burner works out. But he's like, something's out by that wood shed. And he goes, I don't know what it is. I said, is it a deer? He was like, no. I said, well, maybe it's a beaver. He was like, no. I was like, it's a groundhog. He goes, I don't know. Eyes are glowing, and I ran and it didn't, so not going out. His words were, that thing stood tough.
Well, what's out there? Is it a
I
cow?
have no idea whatsoever, but I do have friends that have a trapping company, so I have a call into them. Yeah.
There you go. Wow, the rural lifestyle for the Duggar family.
Yeah. That was very different.
I would have the same issues. I mean, I am so used to city life where I have to be concerned about being quiet because we're in a quiet neighborhood and you want to be considerate,
Yeah.
And we have deer, but like that's just because it's Monterey. Like, we have deer
Yeah.
and raccoons and seagulls and all the marine mammals and stuff. But like, yeah, it's like okay, it's just like Disney around here in some
Yeah.
ways. But I never have to worry about being scared of glowing eyes. I mean, I'll tell you what we got. We got this bully cat that my cat used to go outside all the time. Now she won't go outside because Basil, the bully cat, comes around and gets at her. So my cat won't leave the house now. She's like, I'm not going out.
That's what I say. I'm glad my little dog wasn't out there for a snack.
Right? Yeah.
I said,
Yeah.
if my little dog would have been out there, we might have been in trouble because I might have had to fight whatever the glowing eyeballs were.
Right? The glowing eyeballs. Well, who knows? Maybe you guys. I don't even know what's in your area. Do you guys have coyotes out there?
We do have coyotes.
Okay, maybe that's what it was. Or maybe do you guys have mountain lions out there?
No, but it might have been one.
Well, we have mountain lions, and what's really
Oh
interesting,
my gosh.
I never worry about it because again, it's like I don't worry about it that because again we're like 7 blocks from the beach. If I did see a mountain lion this far down, like down the hill, it'd be like, huh? Like,
Well, we're used to like when we go to Gatlinburg, we're used to bears, we're used to the signs, don't leave, your stuff out because of the bears and all that stuff. So we're used to that. But just have something freestanding out in your yard in the dark, like, what are you guys doing here? And we can't even look at them like, what are you doing here? Because they've got the drop on us. Yeah, that was the one time that the wife didn't say, oh, honey, just go, because I knew he could have got eaten up. But our friends laughed at us because, they every time we hear something, we call them. We're like, okay, can you guys trap whatever this is? I said, and then we heard something scratch on the roof the other night. So okay, we're gonna have to
wow.
we're gonna have to get tough, and
You
Well, we're
guys,
gonna have to get tough. I did see a spider in my room, and when I say a spider, let's not get it confused. A house spider is like a little tan spider. You know, you can mush it or put a napkin on it. If I would have put a napkin on this spider, it would have slapped my hand down. Yeah, it would have slapped my hand down and pushed me out the door.
oh my God.
And the thing is, this is the kicker. I seen it in the dark. Yeah, I seen it in the dark. I get up to go to the bathroom in the middle of the night. I'm coming out, and my kids and my husband tease me because they say I have spidey senses, and I do. And I come out of the bathroom and I go, something moved. And Will says, what? I said, something moved. He was like, I can't even see anything. And so I said, okay, no big deal. Maybe something just fell or rolled or whatever. And the carpet's brand new and all that. So I was just like, maybe I'm just not used to it. I take another step and said several F's and B's and jumped on my bed and said, there's a spider the size of Canada on the floor. And Will was like, what? And when we turned on that light, something that looked like this, I was looking at. I was like, when I could see the hair on the spider's leg, it's too big. I hear people talking about wolf spiders, and yes, in Ohio, we see, spiders spin like some of the most gorgeous webs, beautiful. Take a picture of them, but don't walk into those mugs. But that spider was so big, and it was next to my doggy's crate. I was like, oh no, the spider's gonna eat my dog.
Oh, you're so funny. So oh God, you are hilarious, girl.
Yep, I
I
made
like
Will kill it with the electronic zapper.
I like spiders because they eat the other insects. So I welcome spiders in my house.
I was the other insect that night. And so was my dog.
Stick that spider on the glowing eye thing out in the backyard.
It probably could have took it, but I had to have Will zap it. I went and got like 2 cans of bug spray, and I told Will, because I tease Will all the time, and I say, honey, I'm not gonna let you kill it, because what he'll do is like he'll hit it with a broom and be like, oh, did I get it? No. Every woman in the world will tell you there can be no question. Doggy's hungry. I'm like, there can be no question. You have to know for certain. I need to see a body, a carcass. Spider has to be dead. And so I told him, our marriage was on the line that night. I said, if you scare that spider off, I'm out of here. I'm out of here. If you swing and miss, I am gone. I am moving somewhere.
Funny. When you do your comedy routine on the road, girl, because you're hilarious.
Honey, that thing was terrible.
You got Jean Duggar taking your spot, man. She's funny as hell.
That spider was terrible, Jen. I'm telling you. But he got it. He got it with the electronic. Yeah, we have electronic fly swatters. Those are entertainment. Yeah.
Electronic what?
Yeah, so they zap them. They electric.
Really?
It sounds so bad when you say it.
Does it work?
I have one nearby. I keep them nearby, but they zap. Yeah.
Oh, shit. Seriously, I thought that was a tennis racket.
No, it zaps. So if you swing at like a fly or whatever, you hear this audible pop, like electrocution.
Like the big zappers.
I gotta know. Does this work on home invasion people? Because like you could totally have that thing by your bed. Someone comes in your bedroom, whack.
If you touch this while this button is pushed, you're getting zapped.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, we may be nerds, we don't play. We make technology that kills.
Oh my God. Will, your wife is hilarious. the
I
spider.
know.
Right? You get to live with it all the time. So, all right, question for you now. Aside from spider suicide or homicide, what advice do you have for our people, especially if they live out in the country?
Oh.
Find a way to get internet.
Yeah, that's where he stepped off to talk to the internet people. Even though we're technically the internet people, our company AT&T is, but yeah, so we're gonna solve this thing, and I'm telling you, they're gonna be like, those daggone Duggars moved in and got us all good internet. We're gonna change it. I'm telling you, we can't live like this.
No.
But
So it's funny that you mentioned that. So I've got a girl that works for me. She's going to Santa Clara Law School, and she, when she's at school, she's got the internet. But when she goes home to be with her family over in Lodi, California, they're out in the country, no internet at all. And poor Sarah, when she's working for me and she's writing content for our websites and doing all this work, we rely on the internet. So God bless her. She'll drive into town, sit at a Starbucks for hours.
yep.
So she can do her job, and God bless her. So when she's a little bit slow in responding, I have to remember, oh, that's right, it's the weekend. She's probably at her parents' house, right?
Yep.
But she and Jesse, who both work for me, they're best friends. They both go to school together, and they told me that they're going to be roommates when the new semester starts up in August, and they're going to live together. And she said, "Don't worry, we're going to have the best internet access ever."
Like, we will get it. Yeah, it's get a hotspot.
Internet is so critical, and especially for now. Like I've been very fortunate that I've been able to run my business without any issues, but I confess, if the internet ever goes away, I'm screwed.
Yeah, I think we all are.
Yeah.
I think we all are.
Yeah.
But I can go somewhere and talk somebody to death, though. That's what us motivational speakers do.
Right? Talking
I
so
would
many.
show up and run my mouth on point.
You're so funny. You're so funny. Oh my gosh. You know what is so fun about you guys is I can just talk to you all day long. I should probably wrap this up because this is the people listening, if they're listening, they're like, oh, okay, it's like about an hour. But truly, you guys have been so much fun, right? We learned all about your sweet little love affair and your family of 7 kids, this beautiful blended, gorgeous family, and your adventures out in cow country, which is adorable, and your why and all that stuff, and spider homicide. Yeah, so call Jean and Will.
That's right.
Good.
That's right.
Yeah.
We're getting good at this. We don't need any more practice, but we're going to get good at it.
Right.
And when Renee and I come to visit, we get to stay in your cute little barn, right?
Yeah. Yeah, I told her I would need to show her the picture of the barn.
Oh, okay.
Sounds like
As we go to learn.
I love
As we're closing out, I will show it to you. And to answer your question, our advice that I would give, just as I'll tell you in a different way, as a woman, just advice for any young woman coming up is just to enjoy being who you are, no matter who you are. But learn early. I don't have any regrets. I had to learn that. But you have to embrace who you are, but you also have to embrace who other people are. You have to embrace who other people are. And as a family woman, and before being a family woman as a wife, but being a family woman as a sister, a sibling, is learning that creating your own traditions is okay. That's something also that I had to learn. And I have a big family, and I love them so. I have great sisters. I had great parents. We had a great family and a great coming up, and we watched our parents work hard, and all of us are hard workers. And having my own big family, I had to learn how to change traditions and change things and not feel bad about it. And it took a long time. I had to learn how to say no. The Duggars won't be there because we're doing our own thing. But say, yes, we want to see you because we miss you. And take some hits back. And take some hits back. But when you're raising a family, in my opinion, because there's no book, and in your marriage too, just even if Will and I had no children, you have to learn that there's just not a book, and you have to rely on your spouse and come up with your own way to do things, and be okay with, if you see somebody doing something you like, okay, then go ahead and embrace that and invite them into your marriage. But if you see something that you're not comfortable with, it's okay. You can say no and move on, and you don't have to be mean about it. And for kids and people that are in any type of service, because people in the world are now seeing something that we didn't know when we were little. Heroes are not just the policemen and the firemen. God love all of them. Thank you for all of them. But we're now starting to, it's not that it's just starting, we're just seeing it, that our grocery workers are heroes.
Yes.
Our people that do everything are heroes. It's not just those big time jobs. It's not just the big time thing. What I do, what we'll do, what you do. We are all heroes, and I'm so glad to see that now coming forward. We can all be heroes. I used to get so upset when I was younger, and then and be like, what am I supposed to do? I can't do this. I can't do that. And now, Les Brown, it is possible. It is possible. And I'm not going to see it any other way. It is possible. You can do whatever you want to. You can hero the way you want to hero. And I wish I would have taught my kids that more so. I always taught my kids, don't be jealous of other people's things, because things don't make marriages, things don't make friends. Who you are inside makes it. And that's a good lesson to learn. And I always told them they can be whatever they want to be, they can do whatever they want to do. But I would be concerned if they felt bad that they didn't have something that other kids have. And now I tell them, if you see somebody that has something great, ask them how they got it, or look at, if they did it properly. It's okay. It's okay. And, I've learned, and what I would tell other people is to keep growing up. Because when we say things like, oh, that's so high school, it's always going to be high school. Because high school is life. It's always going to be high school. But
Right?
if we work harder at saying, you're who you are, I'm who I am, and let's just be happy. Let's just be appreciative and thank each other and smile at each other. Look, we have face coverings now. So you're missing that smile.
Right.
You are missing that smile. Now you're waving at people, or if your eyebrows don't go up a certain way, then you don't feel a connection. But yep, it's so different,
Oh, yeah.
but
Somebody
you
has
miss.
when somebody has dark glasses. This woman had like completely black glasses. All I really saw of her face was this part, like right
Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
But you're
Yeah.
right. I'm like, I try to say something, or like, hi, I'm friendly. It's okay.
And it is hard. And how do you show that when you can only see this?
Yeah.
So it's really hard, and especially for people like me and you that just really love seeing people and adoring people smile and telling people they're beautiful, and just having that laugh with people. It's hard, but I've noticed a lot more when this first started. Some people were getting kind of mean and hostile because we didn't know what was going on. But now I'm starting to see and hear through muffling, people that are a little bit more respectful, a little bit more kinder, because when our ability to be kind gets hit. Sorry, my dog is like running crazy, making all kind of noises. But when that ability to is taken away, we miss it. So I hope as we all come back on board, we learn. Unfortunately, just like 9/11, we learn that we all need each other, and when we all go through something, we all have to bound together. But if we start bounding together before, this stuff, it'll be a little bit, I won't say easy to take, but we can all know that the next day is coming. Things come, but they come to pass.
Right. You are not alone.
That's right. Yana.
Anna. Yep. You are not alone. So true. So true. Ah, I love it. Will, do you have anything to add as we're wrapping this
Um,
up?
well, it's a man of few words. Not too much more to add. She really covers it.
I love it. See, this is why you have your own personal spokeswoman. Great.
Mm-hmm.
Yay.
You guys, thank you so much for hanging out with me. And for anybody who's watching this craziness, thank you so much for hanging out with me and Will and Jean Duggar. Jean, do you want to give a little bit of information as to how people can reach you and your genius motivation?
Absolutely. Genius motivation. Motivation for you, motivation for us, because we all need it. We always need it. You can catch me on YouTube at Genius Motivation. You can catch me online at mygeniusmotivation.com, or you can email me at geniusmotivation@gmail.com. And Genius Motivation is a lot of things. It's getting started out, and I am looking for people that want to tell their story, because what you and I stand for is Yana, which is you are not alone. There's a whole community of us, and we want people to be able to tell their story. And my job with Genius is to bring people together so they know that they're not alone. When you deal with chronic illness, sometimes you feel like you're on that little space, like nobody knows how bad I'm hurting today. Nobody knows how hard it is to do something simple like tie my shoe or get out of my car, or very, very simple things. And my job when I am online is to talk to people about that. And as Genius Motivation goes forward, you're going to see a lot of relationship coaching, talking forums, and just a lot of great things. So hit me up. I will be more than happy to talk to you and talk you through. We're going to talk about weight issues, family issues, relationships, all of the above, and making great lifelong friends and establishing a relationship like you and I have.
Wonderful. All right, my love. Thank you guys. Love you so much. And we'll talk to
We
you guys.
appreciate you. We love you. Give kisses to Renee too. We will be coming to Cali, or you're coming to Ohio sometime. It's
Yeah,
gonna happen because we're saying it.
road trip.
Whoop whoop.
All right. See y'all later.
All right, love you.
Love you.
Thanks, Jen.
Thank you.
Bye.